Hello, my darlings, and welcome. Thank you for joining me as I create a Beltane Junk Journal spread out of a children's board book. It will feature a Flowers and Fire tarot card spread for the season. Let's do some magical crafting. I'm excited to announce that this video is a collaboration with another very talented witchy content creator, Lucie. Her channel is Les Patouilles de Lucie, and I will link to it below. She's an experienced artist and junk journal maker. So while my video will show the creation of a single spread in my Beltane Grimoire, Lucie has created an entire Beltane-inspired board book journal for your enjoyment. I usually watch Lucie's channel with YouTube's English translation closed captions turned on. However, she has made an English version for us for this collaboration. I hope you will check out her video after this one. After preparing my pages with white acrylic gesso, I'm covering my pages with a beautiful golden paper I found in my scrapbook paper stash. I'm using PVA glue and a paintbrush to make sure the paper adheres well. If you decide to make a junk journal grimoire, the most important skill that you can master is patience. Every layer has to dry before adding more items on top. Because the pages of this book are wider than 6 inches, I had a little border on either side that needed to be covered. So I cut strips of patterned paper that correspond to my theme of flowers and fire and glued them down to create outer borders. Flowers and fire are two themes that relate to the traditional celebrations of Beltane and May Day. Beltane falls between the spring equinox and summer solstice when the natural world is blooming. A traditional celebration at this time of year is to gather flowers and create wreaths and flower crowns. Beltane was originally a Celtic holiday, and there's very limited information on the rituals they celebrated. They were mostly concerned with protecting livestock, crops, and family. Cattle were driven through the smoke of the bale flyers and blessed with health and fertility for the coming year. I used some watercolor paintings of flowers and a bonfire and created 2 pockets, one for each side of the spread. I trimmed out each one and then used a ruler and a dotting tool to score the fold lines on 3 sides of each pocket. The pockets are adhered to the book with thin pieces of double-sided tape. To decorate them a bit more, I decided to use a golden yellow glitter glue for the flames of the bonfire. I used white, purple, and mauve glitter glue to add some bling to the flower pocket. Then I used orange and purple glitter glue to decorate the border elements and add more sparkle to the page. Next, it was time to let the glitter glue dry completely, so I got to work making 6 cards to tuck into my pockets. 1 card for each question in my 6-card tarot spread. I chose a bright pink for the 3 cards for the flower pocket and a bright golden yellow for the fire pocket. I decorated the pink cards with more of the floral paper I used for the page border. And I decorated the golden cards with more of the colorful swirling pattern I used for the fire page border. I added strips of washi tape to the cards to add a little bit of metallic bling. Once all 6 cards were complete, I wrote out each of the questions from my 6-card spread. The flower cards ask, what is abundant or fertile right now? What needs to be expressed or released? And what are you manifesting during this season? The fire cards ask, what supports your inner fire and ambition? What needs to be transformed? And what is being burned away? I created cute little corner decorations by tying a piece of yarn in half and attaching a paper flower with a metal brad through the corner of the card. I used pinks and purples for the flower cards and oranges and reds for the fire cards. If you'd like to download the printable for this tarot spread, please visit Magical Crafting on Patreon at the link below the video. My patrons can download recipes, Book of Shadows pages, artwork, and more, all provided as PDFs. And now it's time to do some divination. I have a question that's been weighing heavily on my heart for the past several weeks. I'm going to use this Beltane card pull to get some direction. I shuffle the cards and hold the question in my mind as I pull 6 cards. What is abundant or fertile right now? What needs to be expressed or released? What am I manifesting during this season? What supports my inner fire and ambition? What needs to be transformed? And what is being burned away? What is abundant or fertile right now? The 3 of Spades is about moving beyond sorrow and understanding your own feelings. It represents a change of plans. It represents disappointment and heartache. This unhappiness is fertile and abundant right now. What needs to be expressed or released? The 5 of Spades represents possible disappointment or unexpected loss. The 5 of Spades can be a sign that fortune wants to play a game with you, a difficult opponent. It can represent a decline in finances. Difficult decisions have to be made right now. What are you manifesting during this season? The Ace of Spades represents focus and clarity. It relates to long-term investments. It's a sign to strike balance between accumulating wealth and having time to spend it. The Ace of Spades is a very positive omen for the future. This is a time to focus and find clarity about where my time and energy should be spent for future happiness. What supports your inner fire and ambition? The Queen of Clubs represents confidence and strength. It can also represent a woman who is often very spiritual and who loves to be of service. It's going to take a lot of self-assurance to make these difficult decisions. I need to trust in my decisions and be strong. What needs to be transformed? The Ace of Hearts represents emotional, spiritual, or creative flow. It signifies happiness and prosperity, usually in family life. This card often stands for a breakthrough in feelings. My creative workflow needs to be transformed in this season, both for emotional health and a happy family life. What is being burned away? The Nine of Clubs corresponds to the Sun card in the Major Arcana of Tarot. It represents clarity, simplicity, and new life. It represents success and monetary gain. These are things that must burn away in this season. Things may not be simple, and the way may not be clear at times on a new path. This card can also represent independent success, counseling that it's time to stop listening to others. For extraordinary success, you have to act on your own. I hope you found this junk journal craft and tarot spread inspiring. Let me know in the comments if you're going to try a board book grimoire art project of your own. Or if you're a tarot reader, I'd love to hear your thoughts on my card pulls. And now it's time to visit my friend Lucie at her channel and watch her create a beautiful Beltane grimoire for the season. Au revoir.